Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Dr. Shado, the internet personality, the best hair. Back on Space Engineers, and things have come along quite a bit. You might notice a bit of an expansion going on here. Much more complete than it was before, and I extended the refineries back quite a bit. And underneath each of these refineries is a fully functional assembler, and all of them are connected to the conveyor system. They're connected to the front through here. You see the conveyor system. I'm going to turn my light off. I got plenty of indoor lighting. I figured out how to get those to work well. But I got the conveyor system here connected to the large things. I got the large reactor here functional and pumping out a lot more energy through that 91827 square space than this tiny reactor could. So that's going to be plenty to fuel all of this stuff. Ever since I decided efficiency over production, or effectiveness over production, effectiveness module to get more ingots out of the ore. I keep the production modules on the assemblers though, just to make them go faster, because effectiveness doesn't really change all that much, I think, on the assemblers. By the way, I've got another line of assemblers and efficiency module started here, but of course this is a big frickin' project which requires a hell of a lot of stuff to be picked up, moved around, and all sorts of shit, and you gotta figure out how to do that more effectively. Now, I did design a little welding ship over here. Painted it yellow because I figured out how the hell to do that. You have to do it while you're building it. And it was okay, but being atmospheric, I need a whole fuck ton of thrusters. And it still isn't particularly efficient, though I have it connected directly into the ship cargo, so I can move. It can hold like 10 times as much as I normally can. And I can do that, kind of, sort of. But my main limitation is because of the weight. And considering you can set the game to actually hold 10 times as much as I'm carrying right now, that's really not that big of a help. That means if I actually had it set any higher, I'd have to make this ship even bigger in order for it to be even worth doing. So I decided to try my hand at building a crane. Now this is actually crane version 2. You didn't see the first one. It was connected with a whole bunch of rotors and could turn in all sorts of directions and snake around, and it was longer and it was more, jointed and precise, and you could go and point at all sorts of things. It was so nice until I turned it on and it shook so violently. And I was like, how do I fix this? And I looked it up, and they're like, add gyroscopes, and that will solve your problem. So I added gyroscopes, and it shook even more violently, and it kept shaking and shaking and shaking until it exploded. I think, and all the guides I saw about that, they were showing gyroscopes being used in space. I think gravity might be a problem, but I replaced it with just a complete piston system with only one rotor right on top, and it's just a much stiffer version, but it's still able to reach out and reach where I want it to go, and I got the welder on the front, and that's connected directly, as soon as I can get around here. See, this refinery is connected to the conveyor system throughout the base. I got another refinery right here. Boom, and it's connected directly into that, so it's all connected into the conveyor system, straight to the welder, so I can have the assemblers assemble, go it straight, and have it build the base itself, through this crane. And I don't even have to fill up a ship and fly over and crash into my own base and break things and have to reload the game. Oh, nice. But this is still requiring an ass ton of things, so I'm not sure exactly how well it's going to go. But this is about as large of a footprint as I'm planning. I need another line of them right there. But you see I got all these assemblers lined up and the production modules right next to them. I got to build that line, and I got to build the line next to it. But I couldn't quite reach it with this crane. I could have dismantled the whole thing and, well, not the whole thing, but just taken the front off and added another piston so it could reach closer to the ground than it even needed to. But I was running into, I was getting kind of annoyed with that because I was thinking, I've set up the controls all so well, and they fit on one hotbar, and a new piston would fuck that all up. So what I opted to do instead was to just smack a conveyor on the side of that welder and smack a welder there. And fortunately, since I didn't dismantle that welder, I was actually able to build those with that welder. So that was interesting, and just turn that on and boom. Didn't even have to walk through that. But now this reaches far enough down that it is just perfect. It's not going to smash into the assemblers or the modules, and I can get that crafting. But in order to do that, they need to actually have the parts. So, go over to production. Assembler 1, blueprints, large blocks. Let me see, I got 6 assemblers? Yeah, so, let's see. Say, assembler 1, make 2 assemblers. Assembler 2, large blocks. 2 more assemblers. Assembler 3, large blocks. 2 more assemblers. Now, assembler 4. So I got 6 assemblers and 12 productivity modules. Not power efficient, productivity, so. 1, 2. 3, 4. 5, 6. Out of iron. 7, 8. 9, 10. 11, 12. But yeah, because this is such a large project, it's taken up a hell of a lot of iron to do. But since I got the first pieces, well, I don't know if I got all of them because it was a lot of, well, screw it. Let's get some iron. Now, I was informed that I don't actually need an oxygen tank in order to have oxygen on these. I could have just a vent, an air vent connected to the thing that's connected to the cockpit and everything. And yeah, I did that with the drill ship, and it works, which is why there's no oxygen tank on that, yet I can still breathe. You have to set it to depressurize, though, I think. But, let's see. Inertial dampeners, on. Disconnect. Move back. Now, I also added a second gyroscope to this, because once it filled up, I don't know, it seemed like it was worse after the patch, but once it filled up, and even before it was full, it was really hard to get this thing moving. And notice I have like hours and hours of fuel time on these. I got a lot of uranium, but I still got to get over here. I also found out, you know, my ship I was driving around with the ore detector, it worked, but if you notice, around everywhere that I've marked with ore, there are these little shadows. And that is a very easy way to tell where to check for ore in a planetary setup. Planet ore is marked with darker ground. So you see here, there's this. It's kind of hard to tell because it's dawn and there's a lot of real shadows everywhere, but you can see like down here, this darkened area here, this is where we have ore underground. So yeah. I got the iron. I was drilling out over here, and I drilled out so much, you know, drilling straight down with the drill here, that I'm actually able to now get this whole ship just right down in here, which is so nice. Oh, and because I figured out how to extend the range of lights, I was able to do that with these lights, which it doesn't completely solve the problem of trying to fly at night and all that, but it does make it so you have a hell of a lot more warning, and it is actually possible to mine at night now. I've actually done it. Though, optimally, I would actually like to have a setup similar to what I've done with the crane to build up the base. And by that I mean I want to see if I can get a conveyor all the way out here, connected to the main base, and set up a piston-driven, well, with at least one rotor. Probably just one. That's probably the maximum you can really do before everything fucks up. Just a crane with a drill head. And you see all the little tiny rocks there. A lot of them are disappearing as I mines because there's a maximum amount. I can get a little more than that. There we go. This is. I could still go up to like 80,000 kilograms, but as soon as I start moving much past 80, like 85, that's when I run into problems where, for some reason, I can lift up and fly away fine, but as soon as I start getting over there, I don't even have to press down. Suddenly my ship is just getting caught by the gravity and pulled faster and faster to the ground, and the thrusters can't lift it up, and I just smash and everything's fucked. I've done a few reloads in my time. But, yeah. On an atmospheric ship, I don't think you really need down thrusters all that much, though. I don't know if they help you with rolling or not, but I don't think I have them on the drill ship, but I have several on this, and it's really easy to just hold down for too long and end up throwing yourself towards the ground and not having up thrusters powerful enough to stop that. Up thrusters, very damn important in an atmosphere. Okay, we'll even that out. Now I could... I've only been really using my transport vehicle here as a dock. I could... It is more efficient for me to drive it out there and do a big mining thing right there and only have to park right there. But at the same time, it can be so much of a pain in the ass. I'm just like, fuck it. Okay. That's only one run, so it's not all that much ore. But, let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? You're refining. I know you are. I can hear it. Well, I can hear it producing. There it is. So, split that off. It's like 14,000. So, get up here. Put 12,000. Take this. Next refinery. 10,000. 8,000. 6,000. 4,000. 2,000. I have more than enough refineries to be able to do way more than that, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm just trying to get a nice video going so I could get that. But if I had a drill crane there, I could just keep drilling out the iron and drill and drill and drill, and it would go straight to the refineries. But it would be quite a project to build a conveyor system all the way that 2.7 thousand meters away. But, yeah, we got this, so I can start, just hold down the welder, and... Now, this is as far back as it goes, so... Unless I can get it to where... Okay, I can get that assembler and that thing there. But because of how fast this one likes to jerk around... Gotta remember, I have it set 7 moves clockwise and 8 moves counterclockwise. Which is the opposite of how it looks on the thing, but... Yeah, it is what it is. 1, 2, and 3 are length, 4 and 5 are height, 6 is the crane head going down. But yeah, I've got yellow lights with pretty good range, interior lights on the crane, so they're just area light instead of a spotlight kind of thing. Still going. I wonder if it's just oh, there we go. So those assemblers are looking okay. And that's as much as I can craft there. Now, I'm a little concerned about... Let's see. Lift that up. I think I might, because if this thing swings around too violently and those smash into something, then and the welder smashes into something, then I'm just destroying my own place. Actually, okay, we're good. So, right, so yeah, this kind of wobbliness. That's with one rotor, and it does eventually stop. It seems to help if I start extending and contracting these a bit. I don't know. Maybe it just seems that way because it helps take time. Oh well. Okay, get that back down. You can see about getting those done. I could speed up how fast this thing extends and contracts, but on top of it being kind of precise work, and just the fact that I have this extended like this is the big contribution, the big help. Though it is a bit close to get some of those, because the point is, after I get that all set out, you see where I have the setup for light armor blocks. That's sort of the edge of this potential tower of refineries. The assembler layer on the bottom will be as many assemblers as it has. You don't really need that many assemblers, but it keeps it even with the rest and it puts the space to use. And if you do work the assemblers right, you can still get it pretty efficiently. Now, because of the tiered system they introduced recently with the tools, which isn't really great, instead of them having different pluses and minuses, it's just get the higher tier. My hand welder is actually faster than the ship or crane welder. But because of the higher inventory capacity in a ship welder, and especially a crane welder, it's that sort of the trade-off, I guess. But in the personal tools, there's absolutely no reason to have any of the basic stuff if you have access to the higher tier stuff. Just get the higher tier stuff. Okay, let's move this forward a bit. Now, I tried to get this thing set up so I could stop the piston. I'm pretty sure there is a way to do that besides just setting up the maximum and what have you, but I can't quite get that working, so I just sort of keep going back and forth, which is another reason why I like keeping it slow. Makes it a lot easier to do this. Ah, so nice. So nice to have a working crane after the fiasco that was the last crane. Oh, man. Is that where? Yeah. The light, it makes it a little harder to see the sparks. I can't really zoom in where the welder's going. I could attach a camera somewhere on the crane to try and see. But the conveyor and the welder right there on the side is just until I get the bottom layer complete. Okay. I don't want that accidentally smacking into the side, so extend it upward until I can, or not extend, retract it, and then I can rotate this. Get it back to where I need it to be. Oh. Okay. That's about right, but I gotta wait for it to stop shaking so that I don't end up smacking into my own stuff again. Okay. Extends. You have a pretty good range on the welder. Like I said, the one welder, the shorter welder, built that conveyor and that welder. Even though the conveyor is technically behind the welding point, that's as far as the range goes. And if the It couldn't have possibly been the welder behind it, because not only was it not done at the time I was building it, but if that front welder wasn't connected with a conveyor, it wouldn't work. And maybe it could if you ran up to it and stuffed it with components. Okay, I see only one of those, or only a couple of those modules are actually completed. See, the one with the green lights is done. They don't necessarily... Now, the lights aren't necessarily green when they're done. Sometimes they can be red if you don't have anything connected to the module, but the module's finished. But the thing is, it's probably because I still am low on iron. I just went and did one run for iron, came back and started welding this stuff together. But yeah, this is a lot faster than doing it by hand. Just run over to the box, grab the pieces, run back, weld it on, run back to the box, grab some more pieces, run back, weld it on. Technically, the welding part of by hand with the tiered tools is ridiculously fast, but it's still... And I have it set to the slowest it can be. But it's like lightning. Okay. There we are. See, I liked the rotor idea because I could just move everything around very precisely and get it to the positions I want it to be in. But that's unfortunately not what I could get without the damn thing exploding. So just do what I can here. Overall, I think it works out pretty well. But, you know, I don't have... This control panel isn't technically attached to... let's see. The rotor for the... the rotor for the solar panels I was always doing from the control station inside, but... I could set it up to actually be able to do it from here as well. There we go. And I think that's all I'm going to be getting out of that anytime soon. I need more iron, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, this thing is pretty dang big at maximum. I think it stopped extending. Yeah. So that's the height at which I can get this going. I might have to get it even bigger. So I think I can stick like 2 more layers of... And at worst I could rebuild it a tad at some point and get everything even taller. But yeah, that's going to be good for a while. Now, damn health. Yeah, this productivity module's fine. This one needs large steel tubes. Ran out of large steel tubes. Ran out of iron. I must have had something on me. Construction components, iron. Motor, that's iron and nickel, I think. So yeah, there's a lack of iron. Steel plates are what it always makes first out of the recipes, so steel plates or interior plates. And this one just, it couldn't reach. So that's why that one's just a shell. So, you just grab that. And put that back in there. Let's see, metal grids. I don't think I need a metal grids for this, did I? No. No metal grids on any of those. But I'm pretty sure my crane is not able to reach the ground so as to weld. Well, I could potentially weld that part with the steel plates I have. I'm still trying to get the nice, you know, exterior. This is going to shake a little more violently, extend it out like this. Oh boy. Alright. Extend that. Now, if I'm not careful here, I could seriously do damage to my own. Gotta keep the welders from... Okay. I love how that works. No, I know I could technically make a put a gyroscope on this, but I am a little concerned about exactly how it will function. Is it going to actually stop the shaking, or will it do like it did on the rotor crane and just smash the motherfucker to pieces? Oh, wrong one. Okay. It worked. Oh, that actually works. And there we go. Nice. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to... be able to reach. Nope. No good. Oh well. still works. And technically I could just... Oh, crap! God damn fucking like a jetpack. Technically I could just build another extension even further down. And get a welder on that and then it could reach, but, you know... These would probably be a little less trouble just to actually build it out. It's nice I was able to get that wall up. Wasn't anticipating that, really. It's kind of annoying, though. The shrubbery just kind of stays there, and I haven't found any way to actually get rid of it. And trees you can knock down if you build a bulldozer, but shrubs, you just kind of stick around. They stick into the ground. And then I had the one near the mine, and I dug the ground completely out from under it. Now I have a floating shrub. You see, it's got the green there, but they're not on. If it is completed, but it's connected to an assembler that is not completed, then it would be red. Or connected to anything that's not completed. Or just not connected to anything. That's the whole point. So many things, but I'm going to have to build the refineries on top of that and extend that conveyor system out to attach to those refineries all the way down here. And I'm also going to have to extend out... Oh, I don't have to, but I want to extend out these large cargo containers along with it, and the refineries lying down on top that will nicely be able to connect directly to the conveyor system as well. Though that's not going to be... Oh, fuck, I keep forgetting about the hydrogen. That's not going to be able to... that's not really going to be something I'm going to build high. I'm just going to build the tower of refineries high. As if I can get that going, and I can extend the conveyor systems to the mines and just drill directly, that is going to be oh so efficient. Okay. But there's also a design I want to make. A long-range atmospheric drill capable of collecting and retrieving ass tons, and that is also something I'm hoping to be able to utilize this crane for, because that's going to be a very large ship to build. I was already prototyping it in creative mode, and I got a system, I got a design that I think is going to work pretty good, but it is going to require a base of large drills that are a minimum of 13 by 13, as it's... Yeah, that's going to be the narrowest part of the ship. 13 by 13 to fit the large drills, because you have to have them all in space. The small drills you can have spaced out a little like this, and you don't have to worry because it's going to catch everything in between. But the large drills, if you leave one block in between them, it's going to create voxel spikes that are going to stab your ship. Not good. So I was working on a design to work on it in an atmosphere, be able to drill a lot, and be able to take off and maneuver around and what have you. And I've got some things I'm thinking of, but it's going to need to be big. And it's also going to need to have a lot of thrusters. And those thrusters are going to need power, so it's going to need a reactor that is big. This ain't no goddamn solar ship I'm designing. But, anyhow, I think that's a nice progress update on Space Engineers. Things are extending out quite a lot. And I just need to keep going back and forth and collecting more iron out of my giant iron mine. And if I can get some things set up to actually just extend out directly, I could maybe build just a little transport ship. Though technically I could control them from the base. I can only zoom out and around so far, and cameras can only do so much with attachments. So it would be better if I had a control system next to a drill crane, like attached to, on it. Something similar to what I have with that. I could control that from inside, but it's a bitch, so I was like, fuck it, just throw a little controls thing on it and we're good. But yeah, getting a conveyor system stretching out all the way to the iron mine. Or the easiest way, one would be the silver mine. It's the closest. But if I had known about the whole thing about check for shadows on the ground in order to be able to actually work, then yeah, I would have been able to figure out a hell of a lot more. But yeah, the base here, it used to just be that little box. That was it, the little box, and it had solar panels on it. Now the car's actually not bigger than the base. It's amazing, and that's going to be... I'm hoping to make that one hell of a tower of refineries. Just make it so that, hell, maybe if I do get to space and start drilling up there, I might actually feel like making a lander vessel to carry a whole ass ton of ore back to the planet just to bring them to these refineries. Who knows? Oh, but it's going to be interesting. A refining station on a planet is a pretty easy thing to do because you don't have to worry about moving the damn thing. A refining mothership, a lot harder. So, yeah. If I can get a big thing going, get a shipyard, and get something large enough on the base where even with the design I'm looking at right now, it's still going to have to be built even bigger if I hope to have a docking area for the idea. So yeah. Space Engineers, it continues to be slow going, but at least I'm making some progress. I could actually use the crane to extend out the solar panel system as well. It's an idea. Until next time.